coyote, they chase away bear. You know what I'm saying? So it has happened. You know what I'm saying?
We
So
needed for protection, man.
yeah.
That's what's up. We would my Rogue Wolf Project. He like a scientist. Like I said, I'm learning a lot. So some of your dogs. So when you place them with people, you kind of can figure how do you if you place them with people, can you see the dog aggression in your puppies at like 5 or 6, and you be like, nah, you might not. You might want to go with something else for.
Oh yeah, absolutely. How I choose them, how I explain them to. So I gave one of the puppies. I had one lined up for someone, and I knew that she was going to bring that dog to her house to be with her other dogs. But this was the most dominant puppy that I had in the litter. So I went back to her. I was like, "Hey, I know you want this puppy, but this one here probably fits a little bit more your direction you're trying to go to." You know what I mean? So I try to fit him to where, like my one homeboy, he does a lot more outdoorsy kind of stuff. So he has two rugged dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like another friend of mine has a dog that she could have. It's a big dog, and she has that dog in her regular life while she's out walking, doing. She lives in an apartment. As far as the last time I saw her, you know what I mean. But and another one is doing like a garden farm. You know what I mean?
Like livestock guardian.
Yeah, yeah. But but I found those dogs the home that they needed to go to. You know what I mean? They, you know what I'm saying? They got to the ones they even in my last litter, I had dogs that were a lot more drivey, right? So I couldn't put them with people who were looking for a dog for their kids, right? I maybe had one or two in here, but those two were also the ones who were more aggressive. So I kind of, you know what I'm saying? So so I make sure people understand all of that. The last thing that I ever want, because like I said, I'm creating a breed, right? The last thing that I ever want is them to end up like other breeds where there's 1,000 of them in shelters, right? I want people. The reason that I post what I post is so people who are attracted to that lifestyle want one of these dogs. You know what I'm saying? I never really post them doing like actual training for their work, and I don't post that a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? But because I'm sure that these dogs will do it. There's no doubt if they want to come see it, these dogs will really do that. You know what I'm saying? So I try to get people who are active, right? People who are attracted to being active, people who are attracted to like spending time with their dog, bonding with their dog, taking their dogs everywhere. You know what I'm saying? These are the people who come in who holler at me. You know what I'm saying? Um so yeah, in place of them, I try to look for their real life and the actual dogs that are in front of me. You know what I mean?
So you say you creating a breed. What's the ultimate name of the breed gonna be that you creating? Because it's saying like you almost there, bro.
Rogue Wolf, man. They're Rogue Wolf.
That's gonna be the breed. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Go ahead. What you say?
are you going classic? Are you gonna have like Rogue Wolf? You the breed, okay? You Rogue Wolf Project, but then you'll have Pacific breeds, or all of them is gonna be a consistent breed. Like
Yeah.
with many, like some of your dogs is gonna be because the way you're using the different sires in the dam, some of the dogs is gonna be maybe 110, and some of the dogs might be 40 pounds or 50.
So what I'll do going forward is like, okay, so I'm trying to go to one specific breed, right? It's not a bunch of, you know what I'm saying, just one specific breed. But what I'll do going forward is, so once I start to line breed, I will pick dogs of certain size. I want to try to keep them within a certain size. So let's say I breed Soma to Apollo, right? So one thing that, like I said, I kind of like try to breed towards what nature would
Now,
choose.
can you break down Paulo? Because I'm just like I said, who's
Apollo's the Belgian Malinois presser. She's a Belgian Malinois presser. But I try to say like she's my super defensive, high drive dog. You know what I'm saying? She's even more defensive than Soma, right? She's more defensive than Soma. You know what I mean? Um, so I'm trying to take her. If let's say I were to take her to him, right, and I would have a puppy from them. Well, the puppy that I would choose would probably be one that's going to get to about 75 pounds, and I'll take him to his half brother or half sister, who's also maybe 65 pounds, so that I keep having dogs that are about 65 to 80 pounds. So I can be sure that I have, you know what I'm saying. So I can kind of keep that in. I can keep that size and all that in there, but but it's just one. It's a one direction at the end. You know what I'm saying? One thing, trying to get to one thing at the end.
and then you got to do the performance selection, because I learned a lot from Lee Robinson as far as like performance selection and culling and really being on top. And it sounds like that's basically what you're doing.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do performance selection, temperament. I do all of the, you know what I'm saying, everything. Like I said, I start as early as I can. You know what I'm saying, as early as they will respond. I mess with them when they're puppies, before their eyes are open. As early as they will respond, I'm checking every response. Because like I said, my foundation in this was always I couldn't have dogs. I had to learn everything about the psychology of dogs from, you know what I'm saying, because I couldn't bring them home. I had to learn everything else because I was just so into them. So I start super early. You know what I'm saying? I understand every response that I get. You know, even without playing ball, it looks like we're just playing ball, but there's a lot more actually going on there. There's impulse control, there's recall, you know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of other things that's happening, you know what I'm saying, that I'm checking for in that. But yeah, I mean I'll do performance selection, I'll do culling. And for me, culling will just be placing dogs
Yeah, that's
in
what
the right, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people say, you know, culling should be this or that. It's 2023. It's not 1900s no more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying anybody who wants to do it their way. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But as for me, culling would be placing them in homes that understand that.
you can get them in pet homes, or you can,
Yeah,
So a lot
yeah,
of people, they just think it's just one way where you just
yeah,
eliminate the dog. There, it's different ways, so they won't basically procreate, which makes sense though, because the ultimate culling test is nature. There's no such thing.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You're not going to be able to procreate if you weak. It's just not going to happen. That's
yeah,
why
exactly.
it's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Nature, really pay attention, is amazing.
It is, yeah, and I try to, like I said, in doing this, I try to I keep nature in mind the whole time, right? You know what I'm saying? So for example, like I said, I want to get to one thing, like so I want the dogs to be recognizable. I want people to eventually to see that dog and say that's a rogue wolf. You know what I mean? Um, but I know that nature more often than not chooses erect ears, right? More often than not for predators and prey, for most mammals, nature chooses. I mean, nature says this is what will help you survive out here, right? They choose a scissor bite, right? It just says this is what will help you survive out here. Now everything else is kind of like environmental, but in every predator that's out there, which dogs are, they kind of like have those things. Foxes, wolves, jackals, they have erect ears, wild African dogs, and a scissor bite. So I try to I try to keep nature in mind and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? If this dog couldn't, if these dogs were wild, which ones of them would be able to breed? You know what I'm saying? I kind of take it that kind of like point of view.
That's amazing. So now you said you've been doing this for like 20 years. So
Over 20.
over 20. So what would the Lamont now tell the Lamont 20 years ago to make sure he's successful? What would you tell him?
Oh man, I would tell him that version of me, right? I would tell him to go his own way, which is where I've had the most success in dogs. You know what I mean? Like I did everything that everybody was doing the way everybody said they should do it for so long, and there was no. I love dogs so much that I did it, but there was really no. I never really enjoyed. I never really got to enjoy the truth in that. You know what I'm saying? So I would tell me to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I'm doing. Nobody can really say anything to me. You can. I mean, there are people who are dope who I would take advice from, but nobody can really say nothing to me about. You know what I'm saying? So I would just tell him to go your. I would have been doing this a long time ago, man, and I would have been encouraging other people to do this a long time ago. If I had been doing this a long time ago, there might be, you know, 5, 10 new breeds on the way. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because we still have those. You name those breeds we have in the hood, right? Those are a staple in breeding. But why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not introduce new breeds? You know what I'm saying? Why are we still breeding the same dogs from 200-300 years ago? You know what I'm saying? So
I'm glad. I'm excited, man. I look forward to your growth. I'm thankful that you came on here and chopped it up with
right
me.
on, man. No problem, man.
35 subscribers.
Hey, it's all good, man. But you know what I'm saying? Everybody did when they first started, man. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to get there, man. I believe it. I see what you're doing, man. And I rock with it. So, yeah.
So we talked about this one. I always ask everybody I interview, how do you deal with dog addictions? Because for people that don't have a dog addiction is very, very real.
It's
Just like
real.
the
It's
Jordan
real.
clothes. How do you deal with dog addiction?
I've had it, man. I've had the days where I've had 27 dogs at one time. You know what I'm saying? And then my homeboy who lives across the street from me has 20 more, and they're basically mine too. Really, you know what I mean? I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I've spent income tax money on dogs. How they all come home and like I got 2 new dogs. Income tax money's gone. But how I do that, how I deal with that now, if the dog really does not fit, right, which is very specific. I live a very specific life. Not many people live like me. You know what I'm saying? So if the dog don't fit, then it can't stay, right? And it's unlikely that a dog that comes from anywhere from myself or from Moon is going to stay. You know what I mean? So that's how I deal with it. I kind of like I'll keep it real with myself now. You know what I'm saying? Because before I would get these dogs and I wouldn't keep them. I just have 100 of them. You know what I'm saying? I would end up selling them. I might breed them. I might do something. I give it to a friend or whatever. I wanted it when I wanted it, but then I got it and then I wanted something else. You know what I mean? Because I just love dogs. You know what I'm saying? It is an addiction, and just like any other addiction, you can't have enough of them when you're in it. You know what I'm saying? But how I dealt with it is I kind of more realistic, efficient. I just try to be efficient about it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta try to like, because I still want to do it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I still see dogs that I'd be like, I'm like, but you know what I'm saying? But I know for a fact that I love my dog so much, man.
You got impulse control. That's good. Just like
I got impulse. Yeah. And getting new dogs they take away from getting my actual dogs, right? I gotta get my dogs used to this dog. I gotta get used to me, and then you know what I'm saying, it takes away from time. So I just like, ain't really worth the time or the work. That's kind of like, you know what I'm saying. That's
Make sure you hit up Lamont for those who are gonna look at this on Rogue Wolf Project on YouTube and also Instagram. So you got a presser and a male litter out now. How old are the pups on that one?
Those are 7 months old, and I think there might be two still available. They look more like the presser.
Oh, is it female or is it for anybody that may?
Two females. There's one that looks more like a male, and then one that looks more like a presser. I mean, 2 females. Yeah. If you go to my Instagram, RogueWolfProject, you should be able to see them on there.
Now, let me ask you this: if we know certain people, certain food, certain things have stronger personalities than others. Like if you cook something with garlic, then garlic is going to basically dominate the whole dish. Or if you cook with coconut, what are some of the purebred breeds that has more of a dominant personality as far as like bringing out their traits? Or is it don't have any?
So from my experience, that's the unless you know the COI, the coefficient of inbreeding, which most people don't know, right? It's what dog.
I don't know. I never
so
heard
what that is, like, which dog in here is more. That's just for speed. Which here is more inbred, right? So which dog in here genes are going to show up the most, right? Let's say I have a I take a brother and sister, breed them. I take that puppy and I breed it to a purebred dog, right?
So a brother and sister, full litter mates, or just half brother and sister?
Either way.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because I'm still learning. A full litter mate, brother and sister, is that inbreeding or line breeding?
That is inbreeding.
Oh, okay.
That's inbreeding, yeah. Okay. But if I were to do that and then take that dog into a collie, right, and you're more likely to get dogs that are more resemble the pit bull, because the coefficient of inbreeding is going to be higher on the pit bull side than on the collie side. There's more of these particular genes in this side than there are in this side, on this collie side. So I don't really, unless you know that, I can't say like which dog. So this is what I have noticed just with my eyes, right? When you breed herders a certain way to any breed, whether it's a German Shepherd, whether it's a Malinois, whether it's whatever, they kind of tend to take on that phenotype. You can kind of see that almost all the time, right? You know what I'm saying? Like those for whatever reason, those dogs tend to show a little bit more in the breeding than any other dog that I noticed, just from my perspective.
But the herders tend to show, like, so if you put a pit bull or whatever, a bulldog to a
pit bull to a husky, you're gonna be sure that dog's mixed with a husky. You know what I mean? Most of the time, you see what I'm saying? You put one to a German Shepherd, you're gonna know that dog's mixed with a German Shepherd. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Like those dogs tend to show a little bit more. But I don't know if there's a true science to that. That's just kind of my observation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, as far as your pit bulls, would you say, do you ever end up with any of them that's just, you know, because some pit bulls are just super friendly, they won't be able to do protection. Do you ever end up with any of those?
I have not.
So,
no.
Yeah, you're bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I have not. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't though. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't if I went somewhere and they had those. That's just not for me. You know what I'm saying? Not what I need now. I will say this: most people who see a pit bull that's people aggressive probably shouldn't have a people aggressive pit bull. It's just too much. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I knew that I wasn't going to have a full people aggressive pit bull. I knew I was going to water that down a little bit with the Malinois. You know what I'm saying? So not water it down, but you can kind of chill that out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Balance it out. Yeah. But I have never encountered. I see them all the time. I know people who have them now. Those same dogs, they get busy in other ways. You know what I'm saying? They do. They're still pretty good dogs. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, for what I need in my life, you know what I'm saying? I just don't need a people friendly anything. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. And I love pit bulls. They like one of my favorites. And speaking of favorites, what are some of your dogs that you might not breed that some of your favorites that you'd be like, well, I like this dog?
Man, I love greyhounds. I love all the sight hounds. Love them because you know what you're getting every time with a sight hound. You know what I mean? You know what you're getting as far as its ability to do what it was bred to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about if people might say they're skittish or they're this or that. You're gonna know one thing: that dog is gonna be able to run. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be able to run fast and long. You know what I'm saying? So I love the sight hounds. I love Patterdales.
In the Jack, yeah, me too. They nice. They like small.
I love work.
You still there? You froze up a little bit. You froze. Maybe go back in and come back on. Hold on, let me see. For those who just wonder, this is you back now. You was frozen. Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah. You frozen now.
Corsos when I was coming up was a little different than Corsos that we see now. But if I could find some of those Corsos, you know what I mean? I love those dogs.
Corsos?
Yeah.
What about Frenchies? What about Frenchies? You like
that? No.
No. Come on, man. Don't be no Frenchie hater, bro. Come on, man.
I know not to whoever doing what they're doing, but if it's not a capable dog, it might as well be a pillow to me, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? Like
some type of working abilities.
Yeah. That dog is going. You put a Frenchie out in the wild, it's going to die immediately. It's going to die first week. It can't catch nothing. It ain't going to be. It can't. Yeah, no. It can't. It couldn't defend itself.
They can eat all them rats and.
Yeah. They're gonna survive.
A couple raccoons and
Yeah.
Possums. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're gonna survive. Yeah, they'll be all right. A Patterdale will eat the Frenchie. You know what I mean? If you leave them out there too long.
Yeah, you're right. I like your mindset, man. I don't know if it's a working breeders association, but we need to make that big now, because like to balance out, because the AKC, we already know. I don't like to badmouth nobody, but we already know what certain organizations do to create. It's like a wave, and it has so much indirect things that happens just because it's in this level, which a lot of this stuff isn't as good for dogs and mankind. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely. I agree 100%. So even when I started RogueWolfProject, the reason that I called it Project and not Kennels was because I was hoping to find other people who were interested in breeding the same way. You know what I'm saying? Breeding for their own style of capable dogs. You know what I'm saying? I know you have an American Sentinel. I love what Lee does with those dogs, man. I love the passion that he has for it. You know what I'm saying? I love all of that. You know what I'm saying? And I love that he calls them American Sentinels and not just band dogs. You know what I'm saying? I love that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So enough people don't do that with some of the dope dogs that they're working on. They kind of just like throw them into some random category, kind of like call it a bull herder, call it a band dog. You know what I mean? Like, and then you gotta like live by, you know what I'm saying, this term that people have this emotional attachment to. You know what I mean? So, but you know, I mean, I do think that I agree that people should get together and I do see I see it a lot though. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people that come to me, people that I'm working with currently, you know what I mean? So it's getting better. I think you just gotta like find those pockets of people and get in there.
Like attracts like, so you gotta be on the same wavelength on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap it up shortly. Like I said, this has been an amazing experience. The internet trying to mess me up, but it's not gonna stop me. It's just gonna make me stronger.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have this live. I wish this was live, but it don't matter because we're gonna put it out there. So who's your ideal client? Who is a client out there, Mont, that you would not sell to?
That I would not sell to?
Would not sell to.
Like, you mean type of person?
Because you real particular with your dog, so I know it's a particular person that you don't want to have your dogs.
I don't want inactive people, right? I don't want inactive people. That's just my thing. I want my dogs to go to active people who really have a passion for either dogs or passion for activity, right? You know what I mean? Because I know for a fact that if you have one of these dogs, it wants to do stuff. I see it all day, every day. I don't get a day off. You know what I'm saying? When I say that I'm gonna chill for a day, I still got to do 15 miles that day. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, people who have like that kind of passion for, you know what I'm saying, health, you know what I'm saying, staying active, and for dogs too, you know what I'm saying? Those are the people who I want. People who just kind of want it because it's cute or because they, you know what I'm saying, or if it gets popular because it's popular, I will stay away from that. You know what I'm saying? My ideal client though, who I would love to give these dogs, everybody in my family, right? I hope that they never go get another dog from anyone else. They would be foolish to ever go get a dog from anyone else ever again, considering what I do from the time these dogs start to the time they go to other hands. They'd be foolish to go get another dog from anybody else. That's what I'm breeding for. I'm hoping that everybody in my family for the generations to come only have these dogs, and that's what I'm doing it for.
You as far as breeding, you part of the 5%, the 1% club. The other percentages is just selling it for money, and so
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. We gotta. That's why I started this channel. Like I said, I just can't. We can't allow this to happen. We gotta do something.
Man. Yeah.
A lot of people don't know neither. If they knew the dogs are like, oh, and if you explain to them like, hey, you gotta do this, you gotta watch out for this, and this, they're like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this puppy, and then a lot of people. You know, I don't want to, like I said, I don't like to talk bad about people, but those adopter don't shop people, man, they got to stop that.
Yeah. All that has to stop. I mean, everybody, you know, it's just a matter of education on every side, man. You know what I'm saying? Those people just have a lack of education, really. You know what I'm saying? And I know that you know, we all been there before. You know what I'm saying? That's how we got here. You know what I'm saying? I made all the mistakes due to lack of education. So I don't knock them a lot. You know what I'm saying? They don't really.
They don't know.
They don't bother me, but they are kind of part of the problem. So, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I feel like if the people who are trying to do it the right way just stick to it, that, you know what I'm saying, that it'll get, you know what I'm saying, it'll get better, even if it gets better for 100 families, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's say I sell $10, you sell 10, you know, you not sell, but you put 10 in place. Even if it gets better for 100 families, man, you know what I'm saying, $100, you know what I'm saying, like you know what I'm saying, that's huge, you know what I mean? So, you know, I mean, it's crazy that, you know, it would be silly of me to think that I'm gonna say, you know, those people I'm gonna stop them. I ain't. You know what I mean? How I'm gonna fight it is just keep producing stable, healthy, great dogs. You know what I'm saying? That they can't really say nothing about these dogs. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I combat that.
2 more questions. What's the main difference that you've noticed, because you're like a scientist, between your females and your males? Because testosterone does make a difference. Like,
yeah, so my males, you
know, boys is gonna be bigger. That's just how it works.
My females are more drivey in a way that they will really test the limits of whatever is in front of them. Right? They'll really kind of like, but they're thinking their way through it, right? So let's say, for example, Moon has something that she doesn't want her daughter to have. her daughter will annoy her at a distance that, you know what I'm saying, that is just, she stays, you know, to the point where Moon's like, you know what, I don't want this thing up here. You can have this thing. You know what I mean? All of my females ended up kind of like being super, their approach to things was like a problem solver approach, right? The males started out that way, but today they're more, someone's just going right through whatever it is most of the time. You know what I'm saying? He's just going right through it. He don't care. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed that one of the other brothers is that way too. You know what I'm saying? He seems to be that way too. You know what I'm saying? They seem to kind of just go right through it because of that testosterone. Like I said, he didn't get that way until it kicked in, right? He started, now he bullies the rope. You got the rope, he'll go over and growl at you and take it. You know what I'm saying? He bullies the ball or something. You know what I mean? Like he just started doing that when that testosterone kicked in. You know what I'm saying? So
because he said he about a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it Aries, baby? Pisces?
I don't know, man. Last week, whatever that was.
You got some people that pick dogs out that be into astrology, though. You know that.
Yeah. And the thing is, I am into it, but I don't even know. I never thought about it.
Because my dog, he was born March 21st. That's the beginning of Aries. He almost was a Pisces.
Okay.
My dog, I don't want him to be a sensitive water sign, fire sign. I was like, yes.
Yeah, no, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what's up, though. So my last question, because socializing, a lot of people don't understand what socializing is. As a guy that has versatile, amazing dogs, personal protection, how would you recommend and how do you socialize your dogs with the public? Because when you got a puppy, everybody want to touch them. How do you do it, and how would you recommend people socialize their dogs?
Okay, so from my approach, every dog is a little bit different, right? You know what I'm saying? I with everything, I take a more personal approach, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't take like a universal approach to it. So with these dogs, when they would alert, and I would see that their body was alert, I could say that's the distance that they're comfortable, right? So I'm gonna stay in this distance and I'm going to play with them. I'm gonna teach them at this distance, then I'm gonna normalize play here. Even though that there's this thing going on, I'm gonna normalize play, I'm gonna normalize sit, I'm gonna normalize recall. I'm gonna make you have to do this stuff, even though that thing that you're alerted to is there, which would be other people or dogs, or maybe some other animals sometimes. And then I'll kind of like make them do that over and over, right? They never really get to touch people, right? But when they see people, they're comfortable with the distance being a lot closer than they were when they were puppies because we did this over and over. We closed the difference and I normalized good behavior as I closed the distance, right? So now we can walk into a store and people can walk right past us. And as long as they don't touch one of them, right, my dogs are absolutely fine. As long as they don't touch them or the dog doesn't come up and touch them, they're absolutely fine. So socializing the dog for me is, now if you have a puppy that just loves people, if you love that, then, you know, by all means, go let them meet all the people that you want to, if that's your life, right? But if your dog doesn't love that and you don't love that, find the distance that your dog is comfortable. Start there. Don't go too far, right? And don't go too close and don't go too far. You want to put a little bit of pressure on the dog, right? Because this is the test, right? But find the distance that the dog is comfortable, even if your dog's running or your dog's being aggressive. It's because the distance is because you gotta find the comfortable distance, right? Find that and then normalize healthy behaviors in that distance, and then close the distance as the dog gets older and more confident. And that's what I did with my dogs, because someone was showing aggressive signs at 8 weeks. I'm like, yes, I ain't gonna let people pet him now, right? But I am gonna let him see people, be around people, understand that humans aren't a threat unless they are a threat. You know what I'm saying? So he can go around, he can be in the car, he can do all that kind of stuff, and he ain't tripping unless they're tripping, unless they're trying to grab him or something like that.
That's a smart man. Y'all hear that right there? You don't have to have everybody touching your dog. You basically want your dog to kind of be neutral. You don't want them just snapping, but at the same time, you don't want them to be like. So it's all about a balance, you know.
I try not to give like universal advice, right? But if I was to give any universal advice, the one thing that I would say that is healthy for almost every dog that I've ever encountered is whoever the owner is, right? Whoever the person that has to bond with this dog should probably be the only handler of the dog, in my experience, right? I mean that it could be the family, right? The family can handle the dog, but anybody outside of that dog's pack should not handle the dog at all, in my personal experience, until that dog has normalized good behaviors and all that kind of stuff. I mean, until you've normalized all that and you're sure about it, just kind of detrimental most of the time to let anybody other than you handle your dog.
That's awesome, man. We gotta make this part 1 because I feel like this and we're gonna have to do a part 2 like soon, man. With the
man, right on, man. Anytime, man. I can do this anytime, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a part 2 and part 3, man. What do you tell the people out there, and how can they follow you and they want to reach your pup? Because like I said, if you want a working dog, you hear what he said: personal protection, active. They can hunt hogs, take care of your vermin. You got wherever you living at. They can be in the city, the country. He's real versatile with his dogs, and that's what he says. So how can they get with you?
So I'm Rogue Wolf Project on YouTube. I'm Rogue Wolf Project on Instagram, and I'm also Rogue Wolf Project at Gmail. If you want to email me about anything,
it's like how it is. Rogue Wolf Project at Gmail. Okay.
Yeah, it's one word every time. Rogue Wolf Project, one word on Instagram. Yeah, Instagram, YouTube, and Gmail.
So for people that want, because this is worldwide, so I actually have people from the UK. So for people, do you ship how does that work? Do you have shipping available worldwide, or how would that work?
Not yet. I haven't yet. And the only reason for that is because right now, I'm super kind of specific as who gets them, right? Who's going to get them right now? Like if I have some that I think are pet quality or something like that, then I might, what I'm saying. But as of right now, they won't really be for sale. The homes that they'll go to will be people that I'm close to, people that if you're in the UK and you reach out to me and I see that you are an active person, you're a working dog person, we can work something out. We'll definitely work. I would love to get a dog over there, a few of them over there. If you're into that, we'll definitely work something out. But as of right now, I haven't tried any of that because, like I said, I want to keep them close. I want to keep them in hands of people who I know are going to get the most out of them. So I don't really, I don't give them away, right? I don't give anybody a free dog, but I'm not really, I'm not doing it for money just yet. You know what I'm saying? Or to sell puppies just yet. You know what I mean? So
awesome, man. Once again, man, this is part 1, Rogue Wolf Project. You heard it here first. My man, listen, he got a project and he only gonna keep expanding and he only gonna keep getting better and better and better. Also, based on what he know, if you train dogs too, right?
Yep.
You train pet dogs?
Yeah, so I mostly do. So I live in North Carolina, but I'm from St. Louis. And in St. Louis, we do the thing what we call rehabs.
Show me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But I still do rehabs here and there. That's like dogs with behavioral issues that need, you know what I'm saying? I like to do protection training a little bit more because but rehabs, I really love helping out dogs that need it. You know what I'm saying? So I still do that. You know what I mean? But not as much as I used to. But if you have any training questions, anything, just hit me at any time. Like I said, I love to share the knowledge. I love talking dogs. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind answering any question ever, anytime about anything that has pertaining to dogs.
Rogue Wolf Projects, show me stage, representing St. Louis. A guy that I follow on. His name is, I think he from St. Louis. He be having the pit bulls and he do PSA. He good. Jeremy Sabri or something. He from your state. Yeah, you probably
send me a.
He from your state. He nice with it. He do the PSC. He do the training.
Okay.
He represents St. Louis. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you on Instagram. Once again, this is part 1, man. For anybody that's looking at this, make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel, all his social media. Make sure you subscribe to Jaguar the Band Dog,
right?
K9 student, and hopefully y'all learn some stuff right there. Until next time, peace.
Right on, man. Appreciate you.
All right, bro. Thanks a lot, man.